Hey guys, Frank here, your virtual general aviation aviator, and today I am in the Phenom 300, the E55P, tail number November 7566 Mike. The graphics only show November 66 Mike, which is a default tail number for this aircraft. But anyway, we're using 7566 Mike. So the Phenom is a jet, and I am at Lavelle Field in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And the plan today is to fly this and one other person to Raleigh-Durham International. So let's get started. Now this will be a what do you call it? A long flight. So as usual, I will include an index in the description. Just click the show more button below and you can click right on wheels up and or takeoff, and that way you can skip all the preamble and the flight planning and all the stuff that I need to do to get the aircraft started up and all that good stuff. But I hope that you would choose to hang around. All right, so a lot of ado here. All right, so let's hop in the plane. And sorry about that black screen. There we go. All right, so let's bring up this guy here, and sounds have been adjusted. All right, so let's close some doors. Close passenger door, close baggage, and we're just gonna do our fuel from here, and we are 2,682 pounds of fuel, or just under 4,000 gallons, 394 gallons. So yeah, we should be good on fuel. And like I said, it's just two of us, so I'm gonna adjust the weight here, and 293 pounds. Let's of course 329 pounds sounds about right. Okay, and so that put us at a gross weight of 15,173 pounds, or 6,866 kilometers. Now we need this stuff so that we can figure out what our takeoff torque setting is going to be. So let's go ahead and get that. 6866. So let's bring up our performance chart, and I really don't like looking at it in this guy here because it is so hard to see. Okay, so we at what was that, 60? Memory is not, I didn't commit that to memory. I thought I did. 6866, so that's close to 7,000. And I don't need to do a lot of interpolating. The outside air temperature, I do need to get that, so I'm going to hold off on this guy and come back to it as soon as I get the outside air temperature. I suspect that it's probably going to be somewhere around 28 degrees, 28 degrees, which is probably going to give me somewhere, let's see, 68, 7, it's probably going to give me somewhere between 88.4 and 86.9, which 85 is probably going to be it, but that depends on the temperature. All right, so like I said, we'll come back to this, but But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get the aircraft powered up. All right. So we're just going to use our memory flow. All right. So brakes are set. Throttles are throttled back. Okay. And we're just going to go kind of left to right in this circle here. Okay. So I'm going to restore our oxygen. Okay. Then we're going to come down here and turn battery 1 and battery 2 on. Alright. And that should wake up our GPSs. So let's let those get started. There we go. And we got an outside air temperature of 27 degrees. So that's close enough. 7,086.9, and just kind of interpolating. Let's just make it 86. Okay, so we're going to use a thrust. We're going to set our thrust at 86%, and let's just hit the soft key. Okay, so a test pass. All right. And generator 1 and 2 can come on. Yep, there we go. And pneumatic bleeds can go to auto, both 1 and 2. And cross feed can go to auto. And hydraulic pumps need to be open. And fuel pump 1 can come on, and fuel pump 2 can come on, and fuel cross bleed is auto. Okay, get rid of the yoke for a minute. Pedestrian signs, let's go ahead and turn our seat belts on, even though they can see that we're not ready to taxi yet. In fact, let's just go ahead and turn them off until we get ready to taxi. And sorry about that, guys. I never remembered to mute that phone. Apologies for the telephone. Maybe I can edit that out. All right. So let's see, where were we? We just turned off the yoke, and we're not going to worry about ice protection at the moment. We're going to come on down and turn our ignitions to auto, and yeah, let's get our engine started. All right, so let's check our lights. Let's turn our strobe on. Let those guys know we are about to start up, and that can serve sort of as a beacon. And right engine. We're doing a battery start, but I always like to just kind of look and see if I see anybody that's kind of just held over from my VFR prop flying days. All right, and we're gonna watch this guy here, and I really should have turned the timer on. Alright, and it's maxing out, but it should come right down. Okay, so I've got a good start on the right engine, number 2. Alright, and let's stop the timer. Reset it. Alright, and we'll start it. Another phone call coming. Okay, so we'll start the timer. And engine number 1 is coming up. Now this is all automatic, but I am monitoring it as a good pilot should. And it's coming down. And we're good. Time is under 30 seconds. Okay. So we're done with the timer. All right, so our emergency locator needs to be armed and our ECS can come alive. Okay, so ECS is on both, and let's go ahead and arm our emergency locator, and we have cleared our TOS messages, our CAS messages, and now what we want to do is set our rotation figures. Okay, so let's go to this chart here. No, I'm sorry, not that chart. Static. I'm trying to remember what that chart was for, but okay, so this is the chart that I'm looking for, and we don't have any ice protection on, so our runway is dry, so this is the chart that we want, and we know it's 27 degrees Celsius, and our weight was 6,800 pounds. So let's see. So 68. Yeah. So we will use 68. This column here, and the third column, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to use 103, 103, and 115. Okay, so V1 and VR is 103, and V2 is 115. All right, so let's go ahead and set that up here, and that's going to automatically transfer to our aircraft. Now in real life we wouldn't be able to do it this way. 115. And what I didn't get was our VFS. So let's click back over here. Let's see, Avatar, V-speeds, ground options. Trying to remember where I was at to get that. All right, whoops. All right. Okay, there we go. That's where I was at. All right. And our the large number we're looking at is our runway, our minimum required runway in meters, and our VFS for the third column is 125. So if we lose the engine and need to come back in, we definitely don't want to go below 125. All right, so let's put that in V speeds as a reminder. Okay, and we'll get VREF when we get closer to our destination. All right, And we're getting there. All right, so we can put the iPad up for the time being. And can declutter a little bit while we're at the airport and zoom in on this airport. Of course, we also got the ForeFlight app on our iPad. All right, so where are we on this airport? We should be right here. And I know it's hard to see, but this is where we are. All right. And let's dial in some frequencies here. Okay, so ADOS is 119.85. We do need to go ahead and get that.
Laurel Field Information Hotel.
Hotel.
2100 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility 10. Sky conditions 2600 scattered. 4600 scattered. 6600 broken. Temperature 2.22. Altimeter 2992. Arriving runway 20. Departing runway 20. Advise on initial contact you have hotel.
Okay, we got hotel. And we'll be looking for 20. And so 20 is at the top. So if we take Alpha to Charlie, cross runway 15. Well, no, that's not going to work because Charlie crosses. Let's see, take Alpha to Bravo, cross runway 15 at Bravo, and proceed up to 20. Okay, so that's going to be our taxi plan. Okay, so yeah, we've got a taxi plan, and so this is Alpha. This is let's see, this is Bravo. No, this is Bravo. Yeah, this is Charlie. So out. This is Bravo here. All right, so 2992 is set. 2992 is set. All right. So we are looking good. And one thing that I had not done was turn on FS Global Real Weather, which is a payware weather engine to cause Explain to more closely resemble real world weather, and it works with SkyMax to help enhance the clouds. Usually I take somewhat of a hit on my frame rate, and let's get rid of this guy here because it's covering stuff that I don't want covered. Okay, so let's just listen to our weather one more time, make sure it's consistent with what we thought. All right, because I got a feeling it will have changed pretty much dramatically. All right, radio.
Laurel Field Information Hotel.
Still got hotel.
2100 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 2400 scattered. 32,500 broken. Temperature 2.19. Altimeter 3000. Arriving runway 15. Departing runway 15. Advise on initial contact you have hotel.
Okay, so we've been switched to 15. Winds are still light and variable. The altimeter is 3000. So let's go ahead and get that dialed in. And all right, so we're good. And field elevation is saying it's about 670 feet. And let's just check that against our sectional. And 683 is on the sectional. So yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. Okay, so let's finish dialing in our frequencies. Now this is a Charlie. Yep, this is a Charlie. And so I would get clearance delivery and some more information. Sorry about the blank screen. I'm using dual monitors here, and for some reason today, whenever I swap monitors, I'm getting that blank screen. I'm not sure why, but it only lasts a second, so I hope it's not too annoying. Let's see. Okay, so let's bring this guy up. And now in real life, a lot of this would be done in the pilot lounge rather than sitting in the jet with it running. So in real life, I wouldn't be doing so much briefing here. Okay, so clearance delivery is 120.95, and I am just gonna go straight to tower, and let's say I've already talked to clearance delivery, and 2462 is the squawk code they gave me. All right, so let's get that in. 2462, and they want me to fly runway heading at or below 4,000 until advised. Okay, and so and departure on let's see, departure on it's hard to find postage stamps on this what am I trying to say? Not the postage stamps, but departure frequencies. But departure is on 125.1. So let's go ahead and put in COM2, 125.1. And dial that up to 1. All right. And I can go ahead and swap that in because I already got my ADAS. But if I need ADAS, I can just swap it back. And ground is 121.7, and tower is 119.3. Is it? Tower is 118.3. So 118.3 is tower, and 121.7. So 0.7 here. I'm glad I'm not dealing with Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm hearing that in some planes you can only go one way on this. Okay. All right. And we'll call it Chattanooga. Okay, so I think I'm just about ready to taxi. Oh yeah, I got to get my flight plan in. Duh. All right, so let's get this flight plan pulled in. Now I've already built a flight plan. Sorry about the black screen again. And that guy is here on my iPad. So this is the plan that we're going to use. 4100 unnamed. Okay, this is the 7566 Mike. Yep, 371 nautical miles. And let's what we'll do is go to this guy here, which is the console, and go to flight plan, and let's see if we can't import it. So I got Chattanooga to RDU and Chattanooga to RDU1. I think it's going to be the first one. So let's load that guy up and look at the flight plan. And let's collapse the airways. And that's great. Nope, that's not the one that we want. So let's clear that one. Menu, delete flight plan, delete, and let's try it again. Let's try number 2. Chattanooga to RDU 01, enter, and different arc, current loaded in F. So I need to update the arc in flight in this simulator. Okay, so but let's look at the flight plan. And this is the one we want, so we're good. All right. So it looks like we want to be at 41,000 at KPass, and so yeah, at RDU, as we get closer enough to kind of get an idea what our winds are going to be at RDU, then we'll figure out how we are actually going to approach our RDU. But we're going to arrive in the area using this plan. Okay, enter flight plan. All right, so we got a plan. All right, that wasn't too painful. All right, so we're ready to taxi. So let's make sure that that we got our altitude set at 4,000. Okay, and runway heading, and runway 15 is what Ada said we should expect from tower. Okay. And let's do it. And as far as I can tell, we are at, I'm not sure where we are at, but we'll just call it Alpha and Foxtrot. Chattanooga ground, Phenom 7566 Mike is at Alpha and Foxtrot on the ramp, ready to taxi with hotel IFR. And they would tell me, and I would repeat this back. Taxi to taxi to runway 15 via taxiway Alpha Foxtrot Hotel, cross runway, hold short runway 15, Delta 1. Now I said that wrong actually. So let me repeat how that should sound again. Taxi to runway 15 via taxiway Alpha Foxtrot Hotel Delta 1, hold short runway 15. 7566 Mike. trying to remember my call sign is a challenge. Seems like I would remember that. All right. So after being on the ground for an hour, at least a half an hour, we're finally ready to taxi. All right. All right. So taxi lights can come on. And there's no marshal out there, so I've got to maneuver this guy myself. And clear. Clear it this way. And go down here and pick up Foxtrot. Okay, so Foxtrot to Alpha. All right, here's Foxtrot here. And I didn't, it was cross runway 20.
Approaching runway 0220.
Because 20 is not the
Entered
primary.
runway 0220.
So they're sending all the traffic to 15 at the moment, unless somebody requests 12 or is busy enough to need 12. I mean, not 12, but 20. All right. Altimeter set. Do some checks. All right, so we're gonna stop right here and do a quick icing check. So we're gonna crank up. I guess you guys can't really hear my engines, I don't think. So we're gonna crank up those engines and get about 70, get over 72. And we're going to test the ice protection. Technically, I don't think this aircraft would take off without this check. Start. Okay. Ice protection fail, ice condition. Yep, that works. And go back and check this. Okay, good. All right. Go back and check some of this other stuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think there was supposed to be 5. Okay, 5. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And we, boys and girls, don't taxi like that at home. Okay. And okay, bad smoke. And 1, 2. Yep, we're good. All right. And we're going to hold short at 1.5. Chattanooga ground, Phenom 7566 Mike is holding short, ready to cross 1.5. Cross 1.5, 7566 Mike. All right, so we got to go ahead to cross, clear left.
Approaching runway
Clear
15,
right.
33. Entered runway 15, 33.
And you can hear my ForeFlight being my trusty co-pilot. All right, so we're gonna hook a left onto Delta here. And go up here to the whole short line. All right, so let's get some flaps in for takeoff. Flaps is at 10 indicated. And let's check our takeoff config.
Takeoff, okay.
All right, takeoff is okay, so it's configured correctly. And so I do see some clouds up there. So, and our dew point was relatively high, so we are going to go ahead and turn our windshield heat on here on the ground. And we are just about at our whole short line. And let's switch to tower now.
Approaching runway 15.
Take a quick gander that way. quick gander out that way. And Chattanooga Tower, Phenom 7566 Mike is holding at runway 15, ready to depart IFR. Clear for takeoff, runway 15, Phenom 7566 Mike. Okay, so strobe lights are still on. Landing lights can come on.
5,500 feet remaining.
I should have turned off my strobe lights on taxi, but since it's daytime, I shouldn't be blinding anybody, so it's no biggie. But procedurally, you just want to be able to do those things via a checklist so you don't miss stuff like that. All right. And 86 on the torque here. And we are off. Building airspeed. Airspeed's alive. Okay. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps up. Runway heading. So V. And let's set that at 2,000 and heading. Turn on the autopilot and the yaw damper. Autopilot and yaw damper. Okay, I don't see my yaw damper indicator. There we go. All right. Going to departure. See ya. 766 Mike. 7566 Mike. All right, so they just flipped me off to departure, and Chattanooga departure, Phenom 7566 Mike with you at 35 for 4,000. Proceed on course and climb and maintain 10,000, 7566 Mike. All right, proceed on course, so that means I can hit my now button. And I do have GPS. Yep, GPS. And I'm going directly to Knoxville. And I can go up to 10,000. And I'm way too fast. So bring that back. And if I had started my climb a little earlier, then perhaps I wouldn't have oversped. All right. All of a sudden I hit 1 or 2 frames, but I am in OpenGL. 1 or 2 frames per minute, but I'm back up to 28. Climb and maintain 15. Phenom 7566 Mike. All right. 16. And I got 20 dialed in now. So let me dial this down. Was it 15 or 16? I think he said 15. Okay, so I should be tracking towards my flight plan. So let's pull this out some so we can see hopefully what's going on. There's our magenta line, and we should intercept it at in a few. And I'm gonna do a flight level. Okay, I don't need to do a flight level change. All right. So here's our 15. And got some clouds. Did I go through any clouds? Maybe I did. I don't recall going through any clouds. The air conditioning cabin fan is on low. Cabin pressure looks good. Okay, we're intercepting our line. .300 knots. .41 is our cruise. Trying to maintain 25. Phenom 7566 Mike. So they want us up to 25 now. And that's a good thing. We're already over the ground at 418 nautical miles, so we are boogeting. Okay. And we're looking at our plane from 25 nautical miles up.
Climbing through transition altitude.
Okay, transition altitude. So we need to go to PDF, standard. And we're way late on these lights. This light should have went off under 10,000. Climb climb and maintain 41 7566 Mike. All right, so they've already cleared us to our cruise altitude. Okay, so we'll set our flight level change at 250. And we'll get ourselves on up there. Well over the weather. All right, so we can, no ice protection is on. Don't need it. Minus 18 degrees out of the cabin. Using quite a bit of fuel on this climb, so I'm going to throttle back just a touch, just to conserve a little of the fuel. There's 25. And actually, I was going to set that flight level change to 250, but guess we'll set it at 240 here. These nice round numbers. And 240. Okay, everything is in the green. Oil temp looked good. Cabin pressure looked good. Fuel flow is within range. Exhaust gases look good, are N1 and N2. Oil pressure. So, take a gander out the window here. Gander. You hear me use words like gander and looks peak. I got a cousin who uses those terms. All right. So as somebody who's used to flying a Pilatus, looking at this climb rate is phenomenal, because I am climbing at 2,000 feet a minute, and in the Pilatus, at this point, we're trying to reach 29. I'd be doing 300 to 500 feet a minute. All right. So ignitions on auto, and these pumps can go on auto. And we are approaching Nashville. Still climbing. Our flight plan called for us to be at 36 at Nashville, but we're only at 34, or 33 that is. Well, actually we still, let's see, still got a few miles to go. This is Nashville here. So we won't be that far off, maybe a couple of thousand feet. But we'll definitely be at 41 at K-Pass. All right, so something's going on. Let's see, because we picked up a bunch of altitude. I guess we hit a thermal that picked us up. Oh, excuse me. No strobes in the sunlight. Okay, so actually we might just make 36 at this destination. We got 2.8 miles to go, so we're not that far off. Oh, excuse me. And we just made Nashville, and we were only 700 feet below our intended altitude. Which I don't think was bad. Okay, so we got 105 nautical miles between Nashville and K-Pass, and K-Pass is actually near Virginia Highlands, Damascus, Virginia, right at the Tennessee-Virginia border. I'm sorry, the Tennessee-Virginia border. And we will continue up to Roanoke, up towards Roanoke. I do see some weather en route. On the iPad, let's see, so let's get rid of this guy. And let's go to the map, make sure we got weather turned on. Okay, our weather is now turned on. And I see traffic. Incidentally, the hacking that you hear in the background is the dog in the back seat, in the back of the aircraft. Ooh. So I'm not showing weather on the next ride. I'm not sure why not. Thousand to go. So once we get to cruise, I think cruise and economy cruise is down towards 80%. So we'll pull back on the torque. But let's get there first. Beautiful jet, absolutely gorgeous. I can't imagine what it would be like to actually fly this guy IRL. I even fly in it IRL. Maybe one of you other YouTubers who actually fly this aircraft will stop by and pick me up and take me for a ride. You all right, boy? You'll be all right. Okay. So I think we're still a little bit far out to be concerned about winds, but we can dial back some torque here. Now notice when I dialed it back, it changed from climb to cruise. So let's go with 82. Try to get them both adjusted to about the same. All right. And that gives us 436 knots over the ground. We got a 31 knot tailwind. And just a Part 4 flight in, just to let you guys see what I'm seeing in terms of weather. It just may not be close enough to the weather for it to show up on the next ride. But I'm definitely, well, actually, let's see, the weather is up here at Roanoke, up near Roanoke. And so the weather is up here, and I'm not seeing it. I think it's time to get the dog some medicine. So while I'm in cruise, I am going to take a break, let the autopilot run, and get a dog some medicine. Okay, so if any one of you guys know why my screen blacks out, leave me a comment. Maybe something that you guys have seen and can tell me how I can fix. Um, to be honest with you, I think rebooting the machine would fix it. So I got a lot going on. I've got Valanta running in the background. So as you can see, it's showing me some of the flights that I've taken. Um, this flight here is my flight to Chattanooga that I made yesterday. I didn't record that one, but this is the flight back. And I should be at K-Pass now. So let's jump back in. You see I'm making that turn. Awesome. So RDU and 153 nautical miles. Now, I've got a deviation in the flight plan that's on the iPad versus the flight plan that's on the X1000, or for all intents and purposes, the Garmin. All right, so range here, and excuse me. So on the iPad, I'm flying the K-Pass dot 8 and 3, and on the iPad, I am not flying the 8, and so I'm not flying a procedure in. That's the problem. I didn't put the arrival in. Duh. Okay, so let's get the arrival set up. Procedure. Arrival, enter. And I want the 8 and 3, enter. And K-Pass was the waypoint. And I'm expecting 23 right, enter. And let's load that guy. And actually we want to activate it. Okay, so menu, not menu. On flight plan. And you activate leg. Activate leg. Okay. And that corrects our flight plan. Okay, so now the iPad, which was showing me something entirely different. You see how my route on the iPad looks like it was going to take me straight to RDU, and I actually want to fly this approach, this arrival. Okay, so let's look at a chart, because we need to know what altitudes to be at. So let's pull up a chart. I got sky vector here. Let's get rid of that guy. And let's go down to arrivals, instrument approach. Okay, so here's the star here, and here's the 8 and 3. Okay, so that's what we're flying. And we enter in at K-Pass. And at K-Pass, we need to looks like we need to be down to about 9,000 feet. Okay, we can hold 9,000. Well, let's see. And this confuses me. Because at McDonald, we could be up as high as MacDon. I'm not sure what city that is, but we could look like we could be at or above 17,000, at or above 12,000. Between at 8, and we need to be between 9 and 12, no faster than 256 knots. Gazer 9,000. So I'm not sure. Okay, this 9,000 may not be applicable. So I'm just learning to read these charts. Somebody help me out. This 9,000, is that an altitude that I need to be at? Leave an answer in the comment. I would surely appreciate it. Okay, so that button is not working, so let me just minimize. Let me minimize it. Minimize. Lord have mercy. Getting tongue tied. All right. So let's see what the what it looks like. Let's see. Let me expand the airwaves. All right. So looks like I want to be at 17 at Madonna. Okay, so I am going to make that a reality by going here and making blue true. And now it does some calculations. I am going to go clear. I'm going to go back up to Tiber and make that true. In fact, I find that it usually helps me if everything is true, but white is informational, blue is true. So let me make this true, enter. And if I'm at 9 at Gazer, then I can hold 9 through Harsh, get down to Butts, and I want to be at 6. Alright, expect vectors. I have to vector myself. And then I have to put in an approach. Okay. So we do these gentle descents, or shall we do, actually, if we were an airliner, the 2.5 would make sense, but we are a light jet, so I'm going to make this descent 3 degree descent rate. So time to the top of descent is 15 minutes. So that gives me time to start thinking about my approach. Now, what I need is, I'm too far out to get an ADAS for RDU. However, I do have an iPad and it is online. So maybe I can get ADAS from the iPad. Okay. METAR. I said ADAS. Actually, I meant METAR, so thanks for that correction. So winds variable at 0.6 knots, 10 statutory miles, scattered at 2,600, scattered at 1,000. Scattered at 11,100, broken at 16,000, broken at 25,000. Altimeter 2988. And remarks, automated weather, and SLP, I think, regards some I forgot what that meant. I have to go back through this stuff. Okay, variable at 6, 10 statutory miles, scattered at 2,600, 11,000, 16,000. Okay. No rain. And 2,600. Field elevation is at 400, so I could actually fly the visual, but I think I'm gonna shoot the RNAV. Okay, so I can close that up. And clear that out. Okay, K-pass to K-pass. Now that tells me something is not right with something. So let's go back to our flight plan, and let me take a gander at Tabor is the waypoint that we should be flying directly to. And Tabor is 31. So let's see if we can get up here. Okay, so we missed Tabor. We'll go ahead and go straight to McDonald or MacDon, and direct to. Activate, enter. Okay. So that put us on that leg. And we'll start this guy up. Vertical nav. And bring this guy here down. Down. Time to bottom of descent. so we should be in a descent. So let me grab my vertical nav and manually start this descent, because we should be getting to the bottom of this descent. Let's see. Now let me go up so I can. Okay, so we want to be at 17 in 39 miles. It ain't gonna happen, I don't think. But we diving out of the sky as quickly as we can. One way to look at this is to put it right on the horizon, and you can see that attitude. Now, if this deviation started to come down, there's a possibility we might capture it, but we're over 9,000 feet above where we need to be. That is material. But we're far enough out to get down before we get to Favco. And looks like we want to be at 12 by Favco. So let's make Favco true, so that the vertical now will calculate that for me. So there's no way I'm going to get down to 17 in 2.5 minutes. It just ain't going to happen. Now I guess I could stress the aircraft a little, since I only got one passenger. Brief that person and let them know that we're actually gonna increase our descent. So let's try that. Okay, so vertical. We'll increase it to 4,000 feet a minute. Let's see what that looked like. Power back to idle. Now that is something. See the horizon of the earth and the attitude of the aircraft. But in 3 minutes, we're descending 12,000 feet. All right, so looks like I am capturing, I am bleeding off some of the deviation. And I got 9 miles to go. Still 400 knots, 408 knots over the ground. And select this downward. Need to have this below 17. And I'm actually put it below 12 here. Let's set it at 10. Okay, and then it actually down, 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 down. She actually did level off 3 nautical miles. Okay, now we're running down to 12. We've reached McDonald, but and we have a we are really fighting to get this guy out the sky to get it down where she should be. Drop it like a rock. Alright, so we'll soon be going through transition altitude. 2985 is our nearest barometer. Alright, so
Transition altitude. Nearest altimeter, 2985.
okay, so we click this guy and set this down to 2985.
Sync rate, sync rate.
And we're closing in on our deviation. All right. Two 985. All right. Let's set the comm up for RDU's ADAS.
Sync rate, sync rate.
123.8. Alright, and let's go ahead and drop that in the box.
Raleigh-Durham INTL information Juliet. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind 090 at 6. Visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 2600 scattered. 11,000 few. 16,000 broken. Temperature 30. Dew point 23. Altimeter 2985. Arriving runways 05 left, 05 right. Departing runways 05 left, 05 right. Advise on initial contact you have Juliet.
Okay, so we want 05 right. Procedure. Select approach.
Raleigh-Durham INTL information Juliet. 2200 Zulu weather.
Turn this
Wind
off.
090 at 6. Raleigh-Durham I.
And menu. Okay, enter. And we shoot R now for 05 right. R now 05 left, 05 right, GPS, R nav, 05, okay, yeah, we take this one, and, yeah, let's see, so I'm going to have to use vectors, enter minimums, let's see, I should have had a chart up. Let's see. So I'm at 12,000, which is where I want to be. And I'm still on the vertical nav system, so geyser clear, enter, clear. Let's see, trying to get this guy 05 right, enter. If I could bring up a chart, brain fog. Okay. Bad panda. Okay. 05 right. Okay, so I am coming from this way. Minimals are 692. And approach course is 054, so I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. 127. Okay, so I know that Zebulon missed approach. I really don't know what I'm doing, so I should just fly to the fix. I should fly to the initial fix, because I don't know how to vector myself to okay, here we go. So we need to come down. Alright, so we're over here somewhere. We need to come down to the south. Yeah, so let's do a Otis that way. That way we enter, and $692, so let's make that 700. Enter, and let's go ahead and activate this guy. Alright, so now we should be flying directly to Otis. Alright, 38 nautical miles, it's going down, so that's a good indication. Change it on my iPad. It says in the Chattanooga. Shoot, I shouldn't have did that. Okay. I need to put KRDU back in, and then procedure, approach, 0 GPS RNL. Otis, add to route. Okay, so that it's kind of like a downwind, and I am under, let's see, top of descent in 3 minutes. And so I should be at approach in Otis is 6,000. So in 2.5 minutes, in just over 2.5 minutes, I should look at a descent into down to 6. Let's see if we can see anything on the ground. Alright, look like we got some significant clouds here. Ooh. This stuttering is hard on the brain. Okay, so hit flight plan to get rid of that guy. Still don't see any weather out there, at least not on the next ride. Got plenty of clouds. Outside temperature is above freezing. At 9,000 today, so I don't need an ice protection on. However, I do need to continue to use my windshield heat. Now, if it was a clear day, I might be able to look out this window and see RDU. Actually, it'd be out this window. But the cloud layer is too thick. All right. So I was way late on getting my, I think I was way late on getting my, get it out, say it, on getting my ADAS, which told me exactly what runways the sim is using. And quite frankly, ForeFlight still suggests the 2.3s, even though the sim is saying 0.5. So I'm actually using the sim weather. I'm seeing lightning up around Triangle North Executive, which is just northeast of Wake Forest, North Carolina, the original home of Wake Forest University. Of course, Wake Forest University moved from Wake Forest, North Carolina to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Go figure. So now Wake Forest University is in the city of Winston-Salem as opposed to being in the city of Wake Forest. But I guess, excuse me, universities, just like people, go, I gotta do what I gotta do. Can't really get too much of a gander outside. I do have ortho installed. So I'm still rocking 23 to 25 frames a second. Sometimes you hear me say frames a minute, and I get that from feet per minute versus frames per second. All right, so I think I'm close enough to Otis now to start me a turn back up towards well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let the autopilot fly to make the turn. And I miss hitting the now button, so I miss making that, starting that descent. So I'm gonna have to do it manually. So I'm twice as high as I should be at this point, which is another good reason to let the autopilot make the turn. Keep hitting that my iPad button and didn't want to go away. All right, so getting through this deck here. And let me deploy some speed brakes. Slow us down a little bit. All right. So I need to be flying. I'm not sure why it didn't change, but looks like I should be flying to Raleigh at this point. So let's go direct to this guy. And let's make 2200 true. Ah, shoot, clear. Okay, so I don't have any control with those. All right, so 3000. See, where am I flying to? Okay, I'm flying to per set. Okay. And what's this guy's telling me? Okay, I see per set there. Per set to, okay. And then I need to get down to 5. To 2. 5. And then vertical speed down. There's my airport. And we'll fly the visual. Okay, yaw damper can come off, autopilot can come off. And this is 5 right. Gear down, landing lights on, speed check. Let's do some speed management. Flaps.
High speed. High speed. High speed. High speed.
Flaps 4.
High speed. High speed.
Do I have my altimeter set? 2985 at KRDU. Sync rate. But you see I'm struggling to get down. Speed brakes are engaged. Flaps are 4. Gears down. Leading off speed now.
Short final runway 05 right.
Okay, this may be a floater.
500.
500.
400. Minimums. Min. 200. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Oh. Embarrassing, because that did not work. That just simply did not work. Let's get back on the runway. You know, I looked at that thing and I said, I'm running out of runway. I should go around. I should go around. And I chose not to go around. So that bit me. That bit me. I should have went around. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. I guess that's what the guy who was the captain of
Approaching runway 23 left.
the Titanic said.
Entered runway 23 left.
I should have slowed down.
7,600 feet remaining.
Okay, so that was interesting. Now, let's restart the flight, and let's see. Well, I tell you what, I am going to take off and redo that landing, and maybe I cut it, and you may never know. Let's see. So I'll get these speed brakes out. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps up. At least get out of those landing flaps. And we'll go down here and turn around and re-land.
High speed. High speed. High speed. High speed. High speed.
That's because I got flaps in. Yep, that landing was just balked, bumped. That was just no good. And I didn't manage my radios. It's funny because I was saturated just flying the airplane. All right. All right, so let's make this turnaround. Steep turn. A really steep turn here. The airport should come into view about now. And bring on around. All right, so where is the airport? There it is. Okay. And I'm still. Okay. So I'm gonna do a 360 here because I still feel like I'm way too high. And should have the airport right out of that window, and I do. All right, let's make a 270-degree turn. Let's make it pretty steep. I got a tendency to pull up whenever I'm turning. I know my wing lose lift during a turn, and I tend to overcompensate. Okay. 29, so let's pull up just a touch. Look for that airport to come into view anytime now. There we go. And we get lined up. All right.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
Speed brakes. Flaps. Gear down. Too fast. Not too high, but I'm too fast. So the question is, can I get this? Can I get this? All right, here we go.
Five hundred.
500.
This looks a lot better
400.
at this point.
Phenoms. 300.
4 flaps.
200. 100.
Track the middle of the runway. Transition. There we go. That's better. Turn next taxiway. Okay, clean up, flaps, lights. Transponder and trim. All right. And ground 121.7 is correct. And Raleigh ground Phenom 7566 Mike, taxi to parking. Taxi to parking via Juliet 1 7566 Mike. All right. So let's go up to Juliet and then Juliet 1. Oof. And you see I did a terrible job. I'm like, I can't seem to fly and manage the radios. Just doesn't seem to work for me. I think this is Juliet 1. No, it's not. This is Juliet 1 here. Yeah. But I'll eventually work that out when I'm flying on networks like Pilot Edge or VATSIM. In fact, I used to fly on Pilot Edge all the time, and I had developed some proficiency with managing the radios while flying Of course, the difference is the aircraft that I flew was a lot slower, so I had a lot more time to consider what I needed to do. All right, let's get this guy shut down. Brakes. Turn the emergency beacon off. Turn the pressurization off. And turn the windshield heat off. Okay. Stop engine 2. Stop engine 1. Turn the ignition off on both. Turn the pumps off. Turn the hydraulics off. Turn the pneumatic off along with the bleed air and the electrical system and the batteries. All right. And check everything and pour the oxygen. All right. Now all we need to do is, I never did manage the seatbelt sign. That's okay though. It's not an airline. And you know, I've never clicked this cabin button. And we can open the aft baggage and the passenger doors, let these guys out and let it cool before we put the static elements out. And that concludes the flight from Chattanooga to RDU. Hope you enjoyed it. I did, and thanks for the company. And as always,
Y'all come back now. Here.
like and subscribe.